Your parents are not a venture capital fund. They don't have a diversified portfolio. When you're raising and in the early days, I think a big mistake that people typically make is that they don't treat their family right. They give their family a pretty shitty deal. So let me exemplify this. Your family members, like let's say your parents, when they invest in your company and you go and say, as a first-time founder, Mom, Dad, put some money at a 5 million valuation. That's a really shitty deal, like really shitty, because your parents are not a venture capital fund. They don't have a diversified portfolio. Like chances are you're gonna lose them money and you don't even realize it, but you give them like a really shitty deal. Even if your parents have like pretty good money and let's say they put $50,000 at a 5 million valuation, if your business is doing okay, when your business reaches, let's say 20 million valuation, your parents will have this 1% of the company. And by virtue of having that 1% of the company at a 20 million valuation, that would represent 200K. Now, if you think about it, having your company go from absolutely worthless, because even if they give you a valuation, like it was nothing there, to go into 20 million is like really risky. That's really hard. And with all of that risk, your parents would have made 4x, right? That's like nothing. That's like super shitty. And if you take into account dilution and taxes, it's probably 30% dilution and then 30% taxes. So your family is going to do like 2x. So you probably weren't aware of it, but just by virtue of treating them like a regular angel or like a VC, you basically fucked them over. What I would strongly suggest is that when you take money from, especially your parents, like treat them right. Like there's nothing wrong with your parents putting 10K for 2%, 3%, or something like that. And let's do the math. So let's say your parents put 5K for 3%. Especially if you're a first-time founder, no one's gonna give you shit over that. A VC will come and look at it and like they help you out throughout the process. They fed you through school. It's fine to give them like a really good deal. And let's do some quick math. If your like dad, let's say, has 3%, and it was for very little cash, what will end up happening is if your business ends up being worth 20 million when they sell, you basically gave them a gift of 400K, but with very little risk because they pull very little money. Let's say you go in and your business is worth like 100 million and they have 3%. With dilution, it'll be like 2%, somewhere around there. And maybe with taxes, 1.5, like you gave them a 1.5 million bucks. That's like really good. On the flip side, if you get to 100 million and your parents have 1%, it's the difference between them making like 400K and 1.5 million, having risked like 50K and having risked like 5. There's different ways of thinking about this, but for me, I tend to treat my family super well and I give them a crazy good deal, like an obscenely good deal. And that's how I feel about family when it comes to taking those first pieces of cash. Treat them right. They like gave birth to you and like pulled all-nighters for you, so don't treat them like VCs.